Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I wanted to give my commentary on Funky Dineva, giving his commentary, his summary on his trip to Huntsville, Alabama this weekend. He definitely hung out at Black. Now, before we get into it, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion, and the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite is allowed. So we knew that Funky Dineva was hanging out at Black. He definitely advertised it on his social media. And even on his flyer, he said that he would get there when he got there. He was going to Huntsville from Atlanta to visit his cousin who was going off to prom. So he witnessed the prom walkout. And during his show tonight, he started out describing the prom walkout. And then he talked about his time at Black. And he also said who was not at Black when he was there and why, what they were up to.
Yes, I did an impromptu meet me up at Black or whatever. And shouts out to Huntsville. Some of my Huntsville regular friends like Jackie and her husband came, and they also came on the cruise. And then Destiny came through and she brought some girls with her. It was about 15 people showed up just for the little impromptu meetup. Shouts out to my two friends that drove down from Birmingham to hang out with the dog, and I paid for everybody food and drinks. Marceau and Tisha were there. We just sat down and talked all night in a relaxed, mature, Black, rich environment and just had a really good time. We had a really good time. I always have a good time whenever I go to Huntsville. And Marceau and Tisha always welcome me and show me so much love. And Black had a great time. I wanted Miss Wanda to show up, but Wanda was working. Apparently, Wanda's baked potato food truck is the talk of the town over there in the Birmingham and the Bessemer, Alabama area. Baby, they say Wanda J. Blige got the people down the line down the block and wrapped up the boulevard. It's so many people going around there. They said Wendy's who? Houston's who? They want to Wanda show enough baked potato, baby. They say she is selling act. The city say they about to make her get 2 permits. She got so many people. She got the whole Bessemer, Alabama sold up. So shouts out to Miss Wanda, because anybody who can maintain hairdos like that want to be having into the future, they can maintain food. Anybody who can maintain a 1993 hairdo that immaculately into 2025, they can maintain food. All right, let's get the show started.
And then after that, he went into his commentary on Bishop T.D. Jakes stepping down from the Potter's house in Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on that? Of course, I did think to myself, is he stepping down because of his association with Diddy, who is facing essay and trafficking charges, and his trial reportedly starts up in May? But we also know that TD Jakes did suffer a health crisis several months ago in November. So I really think that that played a huge part. And this happens at every church. Like it's going to happen eventually where the pastor has to retire. And so they have to, pick another pastor. And according to how that church does it, it appears that the Potter's House is non-denominational. So it could just be a matter of the leaders or Bishop T.D. Jakes himself will choose. I believe his daughter and son-in-law, I believe Carlos King said that one of the daughters and her husband are taking over. And so like sometimes with a Black Baptist church, there's like a vote. You hear like the kind of like the tryout sermons and then you take a vote. But with non-denominational leadership may just take it upon themselves to go ahead and take care of that. And there are benefits to both ways. Just if leadership takes care of it and the membership they don't push back, then the church can kind of just like easily transition, with the new pastor. But in any event, that was my quick commentary on Bishop T.D. Jakes stepping down, and I wish him the best. And as far as Funky Dineva's trip to Huntsville, he said about 15 people showed up, including Destiny. She brought some of her friends, and Funky Dineva had some of his personal friends drive down from Birmingham. And he said that Marceau and Tisha were nice to him, and he said that he paid for everyone's food and drinks, and they talked all night. So it sounded like it was a chill night. I guess it was not their karaoke night. And I guess Funky Dineva perhaps is not into line dancing, as he said that they talked all night. And he said that he wanted to see Wanda, but she was not there because she was working her food truck. So I did immediately think, like, wow, what are Wanda's hours of operation? Because I'm assuming Funky Dineva went to Black after his relative's prom send off. That would have been early evening at the most, more than likely late evening. What time does she shut down operation? And is she like in the dark, like handing out the potatoes? But let Funky Dineva tell it. That line is wrapped around the corner. It's a huge hit. And her food truck, it's purple. I will say, like, in the business setting, when I was in the office in the summertime, those food trucks, that is a good visual. You will go outside, soak up the sun, and then decide which food truck you're going to go to for lunch. So it ain't a bad idea for sure. But I was just curious, like, oh my gosh, does she work at night? So people are like kicking it at the food truck at night in the dark. I mean, but whatever, however you want to eat, whatever floats your boat, by all means. But he was looking for his girl Wanda, and he said that she was selling out on potatoes. And I'm guessing that that intel that Funky Dineva got, it definitely came from Tisha. So that was his Huntsville trip, and he's already back home. And I know that you all heard about, shout out to Anonymous T. I saw it on Conscious TV's channel about Funky Dineva kind of like speaking his conscious. I don't know if he sipped on something and decided that he wanted to get back with Claudia and Al Reynolds. I think that ship has sailed. It's been way too much mudslinging and negativity. And he seemed like he didn't really like Claudia, just in my opinion, Funky. It seemed like both he and Al Reynolds, they got along with each other, but they did not like her. And so ultimately, just from what I could see from my vantage point, it was all about trying to get rid of anyone else besides Funky and Al. But that totally went left, as we all know. What did you think about Funky Dineva's trip to Huntsville and him saying that Wanda is selling out the potatoes? I am going to finish up the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I definitely want to talk about the inappropriate, disrespectful, awful thing that Portia said about Angela Oakley's husband. That is so ridiculous. And is it her character? Because it's one thing if you want to say something for shock value, but you have to have boundaries. I would never. So let's go ahead. I'm going to ask that you please hit the like button on this video. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you all soon. Bye.